Okay, chapter number 10. Let's do a quick review of the first section that we did in our last class. We had a long break. I'm sorry, the circumstances were such, but now we'll try and finish quickly the rest of the chapter and then begin with the 11th one. Okay, so the section that we did in our last class was 10.8 to 11, which is also called the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita, pure bhakti, the essence of Bhagavad Gita. And now today we'll begin with the next section, 10.12 to 18. Arjuna accepts Krishna's supreme position. So the Chatushloki, the four summary verses of the Bhagavad Gita, and we understood those verses in the significance in the aspect of context and content both. And we also understood about Sambandha, Abhideya, and Prayojana in these verses in that context also. So who can match from the left to the right? What is Sambandha? You can unmute.
Knowledge of the
relationship.
There.
Abhideya is the process.
process.
Prayojana is the
Prayojana is the result.
Wonderful. So content was Sambandha 10.8, Abhideya all four verses, which is the process 10.8, 9, 10, 11, and Prayojana, which is the result, is 10. Krishna talks about that in 10.8 and 10.9. And these were the verses 10.8. We're trying to memorize these also, all of these four. Krishna says, I'm the source of all spiritual and material world. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So, aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. That's the sambandha, understanding Krishna's position. Iti matva bhajante mam. Knowing this, that I am the supreme and everything emanates from me, knowing this, my devotees start to worship me. Iti matva, knowing this about me, bhajante mam. They start to worship me. So that's the process to do the bhajan. And Buddha Bhava Samanvita is the prayojana, devotion which is manifesting. Buddha is the mind which becomes illuminated, and Bhava Samanvitaha, it is the heart that becomes transformed. 10.9, Krishna says, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So here, mat chitta mad gata prana bodhayanta parasparam katyanta shamam nityam. So mat chitta mad gata prana, they always thinking of me, bodhayanta parasparam. They are talking, conversing about me with amongst each other all the time. Katyanta shamat mam nityam. Again, all the time they are katyan my katha. They're doing my katha. So this is the practice. And Tushanti cha ramanti cha, they are deriving great satisfaction and bliss. This is the stage of perfection, which is the prayojana. Those who are constantly devoted to me, to serving me with love, I give them the understanding by which they can come to me. So here the whole thing is Abhideya, how to practice. Then 10.11, to show them special mercy, I dwelling in their hearts destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. And this is also how to practice. So that's the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. You might have gone back and heard the recordings, also done your homework. Anybody has any questions so far in the 10th chapter or any reflections before we start with the next section? No? Okay, so we'll begin today's class.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes.
This lordships of Abhideya, Sambandha and the prayojan. That is,
Radha Madan Mohan,
yeah, Radha Madan Mohan,
Govind,
Radha Govinda Dev,
Govind,
Radha
Gopinath.
Gopinath.
Yeah.
Today,
It's
today we visited all the three.
amazing. You're still there?
Yeah, yeah. We are there
Yay.
till 19th, Mataji.
Jai. Our obeisances to the Dham and to all of you. Balkrishna
Sure.
Rao Prabhu, his dear wife, Mataji, and Shambhu Prabhu also. All three of them are there in Vrindavan Dham. So our obeisances, Prabhu, please offer all of our prayers on our behalf also wherever you go.
Sure, Mataji. We will pray. We will keep all of you in our prayers.
All the temples and all the deities that you pay obeisances to, our obeisances also from all our sides.
Sure, Mataji. Sure. Sure.
All right. So next section, Arjuna accepts Krishna's position and requests to hear more of his opulences. This is from 10.12 to 12.18. Arjuna refers to previous authorities, thus confirms Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, also by his own realization, prays to Krishna to hear more of his glories so that he can always think of him and remember him. Otherwise, Krishna will remain unknowable. So I'll also open my Bhagavad Gita 10.12. Okay, here Arjun starts to speak after Krishna has spoken the 4 verses, the Chatushloki, and Krishna's supremacy is confirmed by Arjuna. These are the only verses which confirm Krishna's authority as Supreme Personality of Godhead by Arjuna in the whole Bhagavad Gita. Nowhere else Arjuna speaks such verses where he's not asking a question or he's not in doubt. So in the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita, Arjun was in doubt and he gives his reasons why he shouldn't be fighting. And then he surrenders to Krishna and then he starts asking him questions, right? Starting from 2.7, Karpanya Dosho Pahata Swabhava, he's surrendering, also requesting Krishna to instruct him. So everywhere in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjun is asking questions, apart from the first and the second chapter where he's giving reasons also why he shouldn't fight. Apart from that, everywhere he's asking questions because he has doubts. Here, this is the only section or verses, set of verses where Arjun is reiterating what Krishna just spoke about his supremacy, and he's also confirming that yes, you are the supreme person. He's accepting Krishna's supreme position. So beautiful verse. Let's look at. Desiring to hear in detail what was just spoken by the Lord, Arjun speaks by first praising the Lord. So verses in praise of Lord Krishna. This is the only place where you'll find such verses by Arjuna. So we can all recite together. Arjuna uvacha param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adidevam ajam vibhum ahustvam rishaya sarve devashir naradastatha asito devalo vyasaha swayam chaiva bhavishime. Let's have somebody read the translation. You can unmute.
Arjuna said, You are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth. You are the eternal, transcendental, original person, the unborn, the greatest. All the great sages, such as Narada, Asita, Devala, and Vyasa, confirm this truth about you, and now you yourself are declaring it to me. Bhagavad Gita 10.12 to 13. Hare
Two
Krishna.
verses together. Hare Krishna. So many epithets that Arjuna has given in these 2 verses about Krishna. You are this, and this. So we'll come to all of them and understand each word. Vedic aphorism, we all know, Aham Brahmasmi, right? Very fondly quoted by the Mayavadis and impersonalists. Aham Brahmasmi. I am that, or I am that Brahma. But beyond my being Brahma, there is a higher reality, which is Para Brahma, which is Krishna, and which is what Arjun just calls Krishna over here, Param Brahma. So you, O Krishna, are the supreme Brahma. Then he says, Param Dhama, you are the supreme abode. So we all know Golok Vrindavan is non-different than Krishna, and that is our supreme destination where we will be happy. So Param Dhama, you are you, and he's non-different than his abode. So you are that supreme abode. It is only in the world of Supreme God, Krishna, that one finds the eternal abode, going to which one never returns to take birth in this material world. So, here in the material world, we are abode of aspirations and dreams in this world. There are so many, right? We have hopes on some person, some plan, some things, and all of them are fallible shelters which cannot give us permanent solace. Our dear friends also, on whom we trust completely, that trust can be broken anytime, because perfection of relationship in this world is very difficult, because we ourselves have expectations which we think the other person will fulfill, but the other person has his own or her own expectations which they expect you know, or they're looking at you and expecting all of those to be fulfilled. But because we are not perfect ourselves, how can our relationships be perfect all the time? So that's why there are, you know, rifts and fights and all those things. Those are relationships. Things in this world cannot give us lasting happiness because they only touch the senses, they don't go deeper. I want a new car now. How long will that car, satisfy our, then there'll be a newer car. Then we'll want that. So like that. But as regards to Krishna, he's also our supreme abode for our heart's aspirations, because he is perfect in all aspects. So he is our supreme abode in the sense that our heart's aspirations also find supreme satisfaction in relationship with Krishna. Then Arjun says, you are Pavitram, you are the purest. Krishna is uncontaminated by any of the modes. Whatever impurities are there in our hearts, they will be removed once Krishna takes residence in our hearts, and no further impurities will come in also. So you are, first thing he says is Param Brahma, Param Dhama. Now he said Pavitram. Next he says Param Bhavan. You are the supreme. Bhavan is, Arjuna is respectably addressing Krishna, denoting a personal reference. So, like we say in Hindi, we say tu, but if we want to be respectful, we say ap, right? In Sanskrit, we say tvam or we say bhavan. You in like tu, or ap like in bhavan. So he's giving that respectful, he's denoting Krishna with respect, but also this, our acharyas tell that this is very personal, right? Because he's not addressing that impersonal light, that is supreme. No, you who are standing in front of me in a personal form, you are supreme. And it's not that Krishna has come out of some light and now he's standing before him, right? You are the one, as it is, as standing in front of me, you are the one who is supreme. So, and then he said, if that wasn't enough, he also says, Purusham, you are the supreme personality. Very clear personal designation. People who are so attached to saying that impersonal is the highest, these are the verses that we can also, preach about. Here, Arjuna is also directly saying, you are supreme Purush. standing right in front of me. Shashvatam, you're eternally the same. It's not that from, again, impersonal light, some personal form has come or has manifested. You are eternally the same. You are Shashvat, just like the way you're standing in front of me. Then he says, you're Divyam, you're transcendental. 4.9 also, you remember. Who remembers the verse 4.9?
Janma karma chama
Me Divyam.
yome bhakt.
Janma karma cha me Divyam.
में भक्त्या
Yeah,
प्रयच्छति
So that one. Divyam, again, Krishna has spoken over there about his divinity, right? His pastimes and his birth, both are divine. Here also, Arjun is confirming that you are Divyam, you are transcendental. Then he says, Adi Devam, original Lord. There are many Devtas, but you are the source of all. So Adi Deva, you are the supreme Deva. Ajam Vibhum, your Ajam is unborn beyond the dimensions of time. And Vibhu, we say we all are Anu, we are small sparks, and Krishna is Vibhu, he is great. So Ajam Vibhum, you're unborn and you are the greatest. So now let's see. Arjun correlates and says that it's not that I alone am saying this. The great authorities who have studied the Vedic texts very exhaustively, they are also saying it. And you yourself have spoken it. So in this verse, if you look at the verse, he says, so first part, the 10.12, Arjun gives all these epithets, Param Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavan, Purusham, Shashvatam, Divyam, Adidevam, Ajam, and Vibhum. And then he says, Ahus Twam Rishaya Sarve. All the rishis also say this about you. And then he says, Devashir Narada, and he gives names of some of the names of such rishis. And he says, Narada, let's see. The sages, Rishya, Sarve, Deva Rishi, the sage among the demigods, Narada, and then Asita, and then Devala, and then Vyasa. So 4 names he's given here. And then Swayam, you also say this about you yourself, because just before this, Krishna just spoke about himself as being the supreme, right? Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartase. So sages also say this, and you yourself have also said this. And Krishna's words are the ultimate authority. That's what Prabhupada says. So evidence of Krishna being the supreme, there is scriptural evidence, but then there is also experiential. We ourselves can also experience that. When combined, gives conclusive understanding and our conviction becomes very deep. The scriptures also give us not just knowledge about Krishna, but also the process for our inner transformation. So here this is what happens, scriptural evidence. It also gives the process for inner transformation, and then personal experience and realization also comes. Then it becomes a conclusive understanding about Krishna's supremacy. Prabhupada says, let's have somebody read this. You can unmute.
Supremacy of Krishna. 1. Arjuna became free from all doubts and accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead after hearing these 4 verses. Bhagavad Gita 10.8 to 11. 2. Everyone dependent on Krishna. 1. Men and demigods think themselves independent out of ignorance. 2. Ignorance removed by the discharge of devotional service. Reference Bhagavad Gita 10.11. 3. Arjuna is not flattering Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead because Krishna is his friend. 4. His every statement is backed with Vedic injunction. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. One time, Prabhupada on his morning walk asked the disciples who were walking with him, why do you say Krishna is the supreme? And then now they're thinking what to tell Prabhupada. One says, because it is said in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is the supreme. And Prabhupada said, it's just a book, right? It's said in a book. Why do you have to believe in a book? Then they're thinking more. And then the other disciple says, Prabhupada, because you tell us so. You have said so. We believe in you. And he says, I'm an old man. I can say things. You shouldn't take me seriously. And now they're thinking what to say, that you tell us, Prabhupada, how is Krishna the Supreme? Because when you understand from what Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, you also listen to me, but with your own experience, then you realize, yes, Krishna is the Supreme. When you take the process seriously, you also get realizations. And the same question again Prabhupada asked after a couple years, and one of the disciples in that morning walk was there again in that group when Prabhupada asked the same question again. How is Krishna the Supreme? What would you say? And he says, okay, now I know the answer. I'll say, and Prabhupada will be so happy. He said, Prabhupada, because when we read from the Bhagavad Gita and then you also tell us, then with our experience, and then Prabhupada says, no, because Krishna says so in the Bhagavad Gita. So Prabhupada used to do this very often. He used to bring down the ego of his disciples like this. But yeah, all these things put together, learning from the scriptures, hearing from authorities and our acharyas, and also our realization, all of these make it very strong conviction in our hearts that yes, Krishna is the Supreme. Knowledge needs grace. Here Arjuna expresses himself through the grace of Krishna. Bhagavad Gita only understandable in Parampara system. We should accept the statements in these two verses. Not possible by so-called academic education. Unfortunately, those proud of their academic education, despite so much evidence in Vedic literature, stick to their obstinate conviction that Krishna is an ordinary person. Let's keep going. 10.14. Sarvametadvritam manye yanmam vadasi keshava nahi te bhagavan vyaktrim vidur devanadanavaha. Somebody read the translation.
O Krishna, O Krishna, I totally accept as truth all that you have told me. Neither the demigods nor the demons, O Lord, can understand your personality. Bhagavad Gita 10.14. Hare Krishna.
Sorry, Kamlavati Mataji, you were also speaking, but we couldn't hear you. You were unmuted, but still we couldn't say something. Yeah, see, we're not able to hear you. Maybe the mic is not working. You can check. So let's look at the verse. Sarvam etadritam manne. All that you've said, I accept as true, O Krishna. Yan mam vadasi Keshava. O Keshava, you have spoken to me. All these. Yan mam vadasi, what you've spoken to me. Nahi te bhagwan vyaktim. And you, the Supreme Person, whatever you have revealed to me, Vyaktim, Vidur Deva Nadanava, that is not easy for even the Devas or demigods to understand. What to speak of the Danavas, the demons. So, how Arjun accepted Bhagavad Gita is what Prabhupada says, that's how we should also accept. 2 points in this verse. I accept what you say is true, and I acknowledge that it is not easy to understand you. Not even the demigods or Danavas can understand you. So it requires purification to understand Krishna. It is not easy to understand him. So importance of parampara, then emulating the spirit, and who does not understand Krishna. These 3 points have been given. Prabhupada says, the acceptance of Arjuna of all that Krishna says should be emulated. Then we can understand the essence of Bhagavad Gita, and then only can we understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here is Prabhupada used to talk about, or I've heard this in a lecture also one time, a person was talking about how he believes in Jesus, but he doesn't go to any church. So somebody asked him, "You believe in Jesus or Christianity, then why don't you go to any church?" And he said, "Because my conception of how I believe in Jesus, they're not following the right thing in any of the churches." So it's really, and there are people like this because they have their own conceptions of how they believe, how and who God is, and they don't want to believe in any of the scriptures or any of the religion. So there's so many people like this. And example is given like a patient going to a doctor, and the doctor gives his diagnosis, gives a treatment, but he's not wanting to take that treatment, not agreeing with scriptural authority and having one's own opinion on religion is like a patient not ready to take a treatment saying, "I haven't found any doctor who agrees with my diagnosis." So it's not the patient's diagnosis, it's the doctor's diagnosis that we have to follow because he has the knowledge, he has taken he has the qualification. And the concluding lesson by teacher holds most importance, right? In the end, whatever, there may be different levels at which the teacher teaches, but the last lesson that the teacher gives is what holds most importance. And here in the Bhagavad Gita, what are the most important verses given by Krishna, which hold maximum importance? Yes, Kamalavati Mataji. Can't hear you. You said 4 verses that Krishna just spoke? Yes, the 4 verses that Krishna just spoke. Also, the last 2 verses, not the last 2. Manmana Bhavmat Bhakta and Sarva Dharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, concluding lesson by Krishna. So you alone know about yourself is what Arjuna is going to say next. 10.15. Swayam evatma atmanam vetatvam purushottama bhuta bhavana bhutesha deva deva jagatpate. Somebody can read translation.
Indeed, you alone know yourself by your own potencies, O origin of all, Lord of all beings, God of gods, O Supreme Person, Lord of the universe. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. You yourself know. Swam evatman atmanam. You yourself. So Prabhupada has given if you see the word by word translation, in this verse, Prabhupada says, Swam is personally, Eva is certainly, Atmana is by yourself, and then Atmanam, also yourself. You yourself know your Purusha Uttama. You're the greatest of all persons and origin of everything. Bhuta Bhavana, origin of everything. Bhutesha, the Lord of everything, and Deva Deva, the Lord of all demigods, and then Jagatpate, you are the Lord of entire universe. So you yourself know your own internal potency. By your own internal potency, you alone know. I'm not sure why we have these yellow lines. I don't know where they came from.
I think, Mataji, I saw there's an option for notes. Maybe somebody by mistake is taking notes.
Oh,
More notes. I think maybe that's what's possible.
notes. Can I delete or can I remove this or no?
Hare Krishna Mataji. I think it came from my hand. Just
Oh,
remove Mataji.
okay, no
Sorry.
problem. I mean, I'm not able to do it, but if you're able to remove,
I am not Mataji. I don't know how it came also.
okay,
But
no
when I
problem.
was okay.
No problem. Okay, Swam Evatma Atmanam, you alone know your glories. So This also came earlier, 7.26. Vedaham samatitani vartamani cha Arjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu veda na kaschana. O Arjuna, this is what Krishna spoke earlier in the 7th chapter. As the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all the things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows. So that now Arjun is just kind of reiterating in his own words that nobody knows you except yourself. Yes, Ipsita Mataji, you raised your hand. You have to unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sorry, just wanted to say that if these lines have come by mistake to anyone, all of our screens have on the left corner bottom side have a pen mark. So if we click on that by mistake, we are able to mark it. And that person, if you like click on it, there is an undo button in that tab that comes up. So they can undo these lines if we're sure that they've done it. Let me.
You can try Balakrishna Prabhu. You can
Yeah, I think
click on it.
it says clear my drawings. It's like a bin, recycle bin.
Oh, okay. So if you
Can you
click on it,
repeat?
Prabhu, if you click
Can you
on that,
repeat,
it will
Mataji?
say, please
Can you
repeat
repeat it?
Mataji.
So,
1 minute, huh?
Prabhuji, I have just sent a photo in the group also. If you see on the left corner of your screen, there is a pen mark, like a small thing on the pen.
Yeah, pen mark.
If you click on
Left
that
side.
pen
Yeah,
mark, if you click
yeah.
on that pen mark and you see up, there is something called undo. There's an arrow which goes like a U shape towards your left.
U-shaped arrow.
Yeah, towards the left. One goes towards the right, one goes towards the left. If you do the one that is facing the left, then it undoes whatever pen marks are there.
But that is yeah, toward the left. This left one, no?
Yeah, so I can see your pen mark. Like if you draw a line.
Yeah. But undo, I pressed that.
It's not happening.
That-
Pressing it. Keep pressing it.
I think Prabhu tried that recycle bin. It says clear my drawings. It might maybe delete everything at once. Maybe.
Delete one. Delete button.
It looks like a recycle bin logo.
Yeah.
Like a trash, yeah.
Even that is not.
Maybe it's been saved, Prabhu, that's why.
It's okay. That's
Sorry.
okay.
Just for future reference, Mataji. That's where I think it's coming from.
Not happening, Mataji. I'm pressing.
Just tried, and then he tried removing also, right?
Yeah.
Moment, Prabhu?
Yes, I tried. So
That's
if I
what
do
I
this
also
and then,
tried.
yeah, it's removing.
But I think, Mataji, what happens once
Eraser also, Prabhu, Balakrishna Prabhu. If you click on that pen,
Yeah.
you'll see an eraser. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th from top.
Red color.
above the red color. Prabhuji, just above the red color.
About the red color, there's one line. Nothing else is there.
Eraser is not there?
See, Prabhuji, do you see this highlighted one?
Did you click on the pen?
Yeah. I can see right, yellow dot, and that towards left, towards right, delete button, and red button. Everything is visible.
Above red button, Prabhu.
There's erase button?
Huh? Which button? I think none of the buttons are operating.
Okay, it's okay. Let's just keep going.
He's on the right. Like someone has the eraser there, Mataji. You can see the logo. Maybe.
I'll give to
It's
Shambhu
okay. We'll
Prabhu.
keep going, Mataji. We'll try that later.
I'll give to
I
Shambhu
can do
Prabhu.
it.
Done.
Hold
It's
on.
done.
I'm-
Prabhu, you just did correctly.
I
You're
am
doing right.
doing.
Oh, you're doing
It has
Mataji.
done.
Somebody's doing it.
Somebody is
Okay.
erasing it and it's
I
working.
am doing it.
Okay.
Okay, it's all done. Okay. So let's keep going. So then he says, Tvam Purushottama. So there may be many Purushas, but you are Purushottama. So you are the greatest among all Purushas or persons. And Bhuta Bhavana Bhutesha, you are the source of all living beings and also the controller of all living beings. So Bhuta Bhavana is origin of all everything, and Bhuta Isha, you're the Lord of everyone or everything. Deva Deva Jagatpate, you're the God of all gods, the master of the universe. When the Danavas become powerful, the Devtas approach the Supreme Lord for help. So Arjuna gives here 5 epithets to demonstrate how Krishna is the absolute truth. Purushottama, Bhuta Bhavana, Bhutesha, Deva Deva, and Jagatpate. Let's keep going. Now Arjuna starts to make a request. And let's look at the request, 10.16. Vaktum arhasya sheshena divyahye atma vibhutayah yabhir vibhutibhir lokan imam stvam vyapya tishtasi. Please tell me in detail of your divine opulences by which you pervade all these worlds. So in the purport, Prabhupada says, you can kindly mute yourself. Let me do it. Okay. Arjuna has already accepted Krishna's conclusion and he has become enlightened, but he asks on behalf of the common people, how will they understand Krishna's glories and how will they be able to meditate on him? And people in general and the impersonalists in particular concern themselves mainly with the all-pervading nature of the Supreme. Arjuna wants Krishna to explain how he exists in his all-pervading aspect through his different energies, so that the common people can think of Krishna by whatever they see around in this world. He's asking Krishna to please talk about his glories and how he pervades everything in this material world. Katham vidyam aham yogim stvam sada pari chintayan keshu keshu cha bhuteshu chintyosi bhagavan maya. O Krishna, O Supreme Mystic, how shall I constantly think of you and how shall I know you? In what various forms are you to be remembered, O Supreme Personality of Godhead? For us also, in the beginning of coming in Krishna consciousness, because we are very new, we hear the supreme instruction of Krishna, always think of me. So how is it that we, contaminated by material modes, can think of Krishna always? And here Arjuna is asking for all of us. How can you be remembered in your various forms, O Krishna? So, and Prabhupada says, the superior devotee is not concerned for his own understanding, but for understanding of all mankind. Out of his mercy, because he's a Vaishnava, a devotee, Arjuna is opening the understanding for the common man as far as all the pervasiveness of the Supreme is concerned. So he himself has understood Krishna is the Supreme, and he gave the verses, right? 10.12 and 13. And he gave all those epithets also about Krishna. So he has understood. But for the common people, he's asking this question. When we look around in this world, how can we think of you always? Krishna is covered by his Yoga Maya. By asking Krishna to describe his opulences, Arjuna is opening for the common man the understanding of the all-pervasiveness of the Supreme Lord. Purport, because materialists cannot understand Krishna spiritually, they are advised to concentrate the mind on physical things and try to see how Krishna is manifested by physical representations. So basically, Krishna is going to talk about his vibhutis. Okay, 10.18. Vitarenatmano vyogam vibhutim cha janardana bhuya kathya triptirhi shinvato nasti me mratam. Somebody can read translation.
O Janardana, again please describe in detail the mystic power of your opulences. I am never, what is that Mataji said? satiated in hearing about you, for the more I hear, the more I want to taste the nectar of your words.
Let's look at the verse. Vistarenatmano yogam. So, in detail, your own mystic power, he says. One second. Did we miss something? No. Okay, so we've reached 10.18. Okay, so in detail, vistar, we know, right? That word in detail. Please describe in detail your own yogam, your own mystic power and glory. Vibhutim cha Janardana. O Janardana, please speak of your vibhutis. Bhuya kathaya triptir hi. The word bhuya has been spoken again in the beginning of this chapter also, where Krishna said that, "O Arjuna, I'm going to speak about these supreme words to you again." So bhuya means again. So now Arjuna is saying, "Bhuya kathya triptas hi." He's saying, please again speak of your glories. Shrinvato nasti me mritam. When you speak, I'm actually not satiated. I'm not satisfied. I want to hear more and more and more. Shrinvato nasti me amritam. So these nectarian words or nectar that when you speak, I am not satiated. I want to hear more and more. Okay, and here is a verse from the Bhagavatam where if you remember the past time when Hiranyakashipu asks Prahlad Maharaj after he comes from calling him from the Gurukul, and he asks him, "What have you learned?" And this one is one of the very beautiful verses that Prahlad Maharaj speaks. He says, "Materna Krishne paratasvatova mito bhipadyate grihavratanam adanta gobir vishatam tamisram Puna Punashcharvita Charvananam." Prahlad Maharaj replied, "Because of their uncontrolled senses, persons too addicted to materialistic life make progress towards hellish conditions and repeatedly chew that which has already been chewed. Puna Punascharvita Charvananam. Their inclination towards Krishna are never aroused either by instructions of others, by their own efforts, or by a combination of both. If people from ISKCON come, they preach about Krishna, and then we also, by our own efforts, also people try, but it is not possible for them. Why? Because they're too much into the materialistic conception and want to enjoy more and more and more and more. What already has been chewed, they're chewing that again and again and again." It's a beautiful verse by Prahlad Maharaj. Prabhupada says modern stories, fiction, and histories are different from the transcendental pastimes of the Lord in that one will tire of hearing mundane stories, but one never tires of hearing about Krishna. So that this is what Arjun has just spoken. I never get tired about hearing more and more about you. I'm never satiated hearing about you. So please tell me about your glories. Bhaktivinoda Thakur gave the example of how there's a honey bottle, and if from outside we can say, yeah, honey is very sweet, but unless we open it and taste it, right, we will not get the experience. So unless one experiences it internally, one may not be able to relish it or understand it. And this I heard from Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. He spoke about how there is a good book, there is a great book, and then there is greatest book. So good book, people read very carefully, not wanting to miss any line, because every single sentence is meaningful. Great book is people read again and again since they derive multiple layers of meanings. But greatest book, people relish more and more every time they read since it reveals new meanings, and that is Bhagavad Gita. Because that revelation is also not just our understanding, but revelation is given by Krishna's grace. Arjun desires to hear about Krishna because such discussions are just like nectar, which remains forever fresh even after repeated hearing. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we've heard this, that he was so eager to hear about the pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruv Maharaj, not for any theoretical or intellectual understanding, but it was actually a revelation of the sweetness of one's object of love. So Gadadhar Pandit used to recite from the Bhagavatam, and when the pastime of Prahlad Maharaj or Dhruv Maharaj used to come, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to say, okay, repeat that pastime again, repeat again and again and again. He used to relish hearing about the sweetness of his own devotees. So externals may be new in the material world, right? A new phone, new car, new BMW or whatever, Mercedes, new clothes, new house. So externals may be new in the material world, but the internals are not new. The same verse, right? Chewing the chewed, that has been chewed. You take a chewing gum and you chew on it, and then you take it again and chew. How much rust can you get from it, right? It'll satiate one time or another. So newness in terms of externals, all these things boils down to the same old experience. Pleasure of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. It's always the same. It's just various different maybe flavors, but it is that taste is exactly the same every time, although the externals may be different or new. And here in devotional life, externals may be old, but the internals are always new. For a devotee, externally he may be doing the same thing, chanting, going to temple, reading, hearing katha, doing arti, offering bhoga, etc., etc. But internally being emotionally and devotionally connected with Krishna, then the same activity can give one newer, richer, deeper experiences each time. Because Krishna's glories are unlimited, therefore the joy that one gets by relishing his glories are also unlimited. And that's all for today's class. We do want any kind of a discussion where we maybe have experienced doing the same devotional services, but we have experienced deeper or richer connection with Krishna. So the mic is towards you all. If you want to share any such experience or any such time where you can recall that you had such beautiful experience of maybe doing the same thing, but deeper experience. Anyone?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Can you just read this Bhagavad Gita slokas and this purport